Hi, I'm Reverend Christopher T. Scuderi of Universal Heart Ministry, and I'm coming to you to speak to you about if you're having a friend or a family member hop online to get ordained in order to perform your wedding ceremony for you. If that is the case, there are a vast number of things that they need to know, and I'm just going to cover some primary key items on that. So here are some policies for the state of Utah. Now, these can be applicable to other states or counties, though specifically for Utah, you will need to have the officiant choose a title. Now, state of Utah does not allow someone to be a celebrant or officiant as a title, and certainly not the wedding dude. You will need to have them choose either pastor, reverend, minister, father, priest, priestess, something along those lines. Anything that they fill out when it comes to marriage license specifically and certificate of marriage needs to be filled out completely and in black ink. Everything that they fill out must also be legible. Now, some of the counties within the state of Utah provide an instruction sheet that they can follow along that tells them where they need to sign, how they need to sign, where the two of you as a couple would sign, and of course your two witnesses. All of the counties within Utah State acknowledge each other, so it doesn't matter if you live in Moab and are getting married up in Salt Lake. All counties recognize each other, so as long as it is a marriage license issued by the state of Utah, you can utilize it anywhere within the state of Utah. Now, when your officiant is filling out the information on the marriage license especially, legally the place is the city that the ceremony has taken place in. It is not the name of the venue. Now, marriage license versus certificate of marriage. Just a few differences here. The marriage license is the actual legal document itself. That is the formal, legally binding document. It's a contract. The certificate of marriage is a decorative or commemorative keepsake item. It's something that you can frame and put up on the wall or scrapbook or, do whatever you would like to do with that. The marriage license itself is the one that once you receive back in the mail from the county, your copy of it, it becomes a certified copy. And then that is what you can take to driver's license and Social Security, to your employer for health benefits, other information changes such as that. That is what you would utilize to change over your name and make that adjustment to your listing as a married person. Now, we're going to cover some ceremony details here. I strongly encourage you to have your officiant time the ceremony, because if they're just taking a template from online, oftentimes those templates might only be about 5 minutes in length. And if you're wanting a longer, more substantial or meaningful ceremony, you'll want to have more time to that than just the 5 minutes. Some basics here, just key parts. Of course, please ensure that your officiant knows to let everybody know to rise when the time is appropriate for the grand entrance, and of course when it is appropriate to ask everyone to be seated. Following that would be a typical welcoming statement. Beyond that would be a marital address, the exchanging of vows, giving and receiving of rings if you are exchanging rings. Ceremony additions, there are a number of different types that could be incorporated, if any. Pronouncement, of course, the kiss, and then the presentation to your audience. Whether that's Mr. and Mrs., Mr. and Mr., Mrs. and Mrs., or simply the newly married couple. It should not end with just the kiss. A nice formal presentation to your audience before you exit out. I would also encourage you, have your officiant avoid any private or more personal information, either about the two of you or certainly about themselves. And their attire should not detract from the couple. This is your special day. This is your grand moment. your officiant should not upstage you simply by what they're wearing. Now, for these many other questions, I can most certainly be contacted at Gmail address universalheartministry@gmail.com. My cell phone to text or call is 801-577-0542. My website is universalheartministry.com, and I have a book available online for wedding officiants that will help them with this process, gives other pertinent information, and even some templates that they might find helpful and could utilize for you. I also have, for the more serious, a wedding officiant course that I teach. Again, for these and any other questions, I'm Reverend Christopher T. Scuderi of Universal Heart Ministry. Have a wonderful day.